For a limited time at Sprint, get $50 for each new phone you lease when you switch. That's right. You'll get $50 for each new phone on a prepaid MasterCard issued by MetaBank member FDIC. Just register for the card online and you're good to go. Get a network built for unlimited and a great price at Sprint. It's the best of both worlds. And get $50 on a prepaid MasterCard for each phone you lease. Visit a Sprint store this weekend only for sizzling Sprint Saturday deals.
Card terms, conditions, and expiration apply.
Blog Talk Radio.
Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib. Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib. Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib. Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib. Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib. Uncle Jasonib, 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 Uncle Jasonib.
Katapu, Alafia, Jumbo, peace and love to everyone. We welcome you once again to Raseki Radio, and this is Mukajara. I'm here with my sisters, Aura and Sakira. Peace and love, sisters.
Peace and love. Peace. Katapu, peace and love.
It's so good to hear you all this evening. How you all feeling?
Oh, I'm great. I'm feeling good. Thank you. Yes. Feeling grateful and thankful.
All right, wonderful. Well, we are going to go on and open with our prayer as usual. And Sister Sakira, I'll turn it over to you.
Dua. To the essence of I am, an ode to those that came before. We express genuine love and adoration for the foundation upon which we stand. Dua. To the ancestors whose names that we know, to the ancestors whose names we know not. The ground swells with salt water from your tears. The trees grow from the cultivation of your spirit. And everything I am surrounded by, and everything we are surrounded by, we recognize you and your impact in all doings. We pour libation in your honor. We sing our praises, giving honor to you, that our days will be long in the land of the Most High. In the midst of continual turmoil, we are lifted to higher ground by your very presence. Calling upon your spirit, we are surrounded by your supportive love. Untouched and unscathed, walking in your precepts, we are enlightened and humbled by your ageless wisdom. Be the prominent and continual voice of wisdom in our right ear. Lead our thoughts and actions to benefit your works and efforts. Let our lives' work be acceptable in your eyes. We give thanks and honor and praise to all of our ancestors collectively. May the way be opened for us to receive divine wisdom. May our ears be open to hear. We thank you for divine protection. Thank you for walking with us. Thank you for showing us truth. Thank you for teaching us discernment. We give thanks, and we love you infinitely, ancestors. We give thanks. We appreciate all you do in our lives, and we continue to gratify you in the most sincere way. Ashe, Amira, Maya, Dua.
Ooh. All right. Well, we are here at the end of February. The time is moving so fast. We are coming through the full moon time. It was a Virgo full moon, so it was definitely powerful, and I'm told it was a clearing moon. So whether you consciously released or I should say voluntarily or involuntarily, I know that a lot of clearing was going on, and it's still happening with this clearing full moon time. So how are you all feeling? Did you get some clearing and cleansing done, sisters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It was emotional, too, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I agree. It was for me. It's a clearing of old fears and dealing with the shadows and just dealing with just reclaiming the power, reclaiming my power from things that I had forgotten about, So it's a powerful time, and it's really a great time to move forward into newness, and it's interesting because it was really a lot to deal with past relationships and things that came as a result of that. And so I really believe that, that clearing is allowing for newness and moving forward. So that was just my personal thing. But it was definitely clearing because this weather, nature is definitely reflecting the clearing. And so, it's not always easy, but it is definitely a time to, just deal with those old fears or things that used to scare me. It's like now facing it and, taking control in a powerful way. So that's what I'm experiencing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could definitely relate to this or with the clearing and the fears, and more personally, I could more so, my thing has been being fearful of what is surfacing from the clearing. I've been experiencing clearing in each and every capacity and part of my life, everything, emotionally, mentally, financially, everything has been clearing and been brought to the light in order for me to clear, of course. And the fear of, okay, after I clear all these things, what's left? Am I even going to be left? So, and like you said, claiming that power and knowing, like, okay, there's no fear in releasing these things. You're not losing a part of. I'm not losing a part of me. I'm actually gaining. As I've come to say it as breaking through still. Breaking through still may require physical strength. A lot of times it's been more so for me not doing anything, being still and still breaking through still. So that's where I've been experiencing the clearing. And it's kind of preparing us for our fast that's coming up. Continue on with the clearing.
Oh, yes, definitely. And that's deep. You say you're breaking through steel over there. I know it's so many levels, and sometimes we don't, if we don't take the initiative to be proactive about our clearing, then it happens to us, and it may feel, very rocky and rough. So because it has to happen, and especially when you are on that spiritual path, because you are open now to those elements and more sensitive to those forces. And so they will affect you more. Just, like they say, you're responsible for what you know. So,
definitely.
But it's all good because it is a part of that divine process to help us to get to that place that we are meant to be, or the place that we are going to. And we can't take all of that baggage with us to that place, to that next level. So it has to go. One way or another, it's going to go. You can submit and let it happen, or you can resist, and, it happens when you resist things. It's all up to you for sure. But that does lead us. Were you going to say something?
No. Got to flow like water.
There it is. Flow like water. And one of you all did say something about facing up to fears, and that definitely leads us into our topic for this evening, because I know that a lot of us, our people, have fears about our topic, rituals and altars and ceremonies. And so, we want to talk about those things because they are a part of our tradition. They are a part of our culture, and they are definitely a part of our power. So it is important that we release the fears that we have about our ways and dealing with the ancestors, dealing with the altars and doing rituals. It's such a big part of us. And we do rituals whether we know it or not. So I am very thankful to bring on our guest. He is a dynamic young brother, I would say. I say that because he is not just one who talks about doing things, but he's actually active. And he is active in doing rituals and ceremonies and in sharing his rituals and ceremonies with others. And that is what actually prompted me to invite this brother to come on and speak and share. And a lot of people do rituals and stuff, but we do them, in the closet and behind closed doors. And, why? We should be doing them out in the public and sharing and teaching others who don't know about them. So, I'm thankful and honored to bring on our guest, Brother Terrane of the Royal Bloodline. Peace and love, bruh. That's it.
Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. It's good to be on this show. I love this topic. I love rituals. And, what Nia said, a lot of us that are privy to information on rituals withhold the information, or we doing our stuff in the closet. But this is a time for sharing information, and a lot of people want to learn about rituals and how to do them. So that's why I'm so active in sharing, a lot of the secrets when it comes to ritualistic ceremony. I want more of our people to get into our craft. So it's good to be on this show.
Yes. Go ahead. Well, we are thankful to have you, brother. And why don't you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
About my studies. Well,
about yourself, where you come from, everything like that.
About myself, well, I've been into occult science, rituals since I was about 12. Okay, unlike a lot of people, I had a martial arts background, and that martial arts background I had as a child, I started martial arts about 6 years old. It allowed me to develop, that in a sense was my religion. So that allowed me to go into the deeper esoteric sciences as a child, study them without fear. A lot of us, we, grew up in a Christian background, and then we got this fear thing to get over. So, I fortunately did not have that, and that allowed me to just take the science deeper and deeper and to really cultivate myself at a young age. So, I'm in the martial arts, tantra, chi energy, ritual, and, I study various different forms of spirituality, okay, a lot of the African traditional systems. So, that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We don't often mention the martial arts. The martial arts have preserved a piece of our ancient mysteries, and definitely working with them can open you up in so many ways. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But you started when you were 6. That's outstanding. Yes,
that is that's fortunate. I'm happy the universe allowed me to go through that training at that age. So, where I am now, 27, I see that since I learned so much so young, now my mission and my goal is to extend a lot of what I learned, not just sit on it. I would be hindering myself just to sit on the information I had. The next thing after you learn is to teach. So yeah, that's what I'm all about right now. Teaching and sharing information and still learning, of course.
Oh yes, the learning never stops. And that martial arts also gives you that discipline, too. And I think that's very important when it comes to working with the spirit world and doing rituals even. You have to have a certain level of discipline to, really be able to execute the rituals properly and receive the benefits that you are looking to receive from doing them. So let's go ahead and get into the altars. Do you have altars?
I have about 3. Okay. I used to have more. And the reason I have 3 is because for every room, I like to put a different energy in or preserve a different energy. Okay. So yeah, I have several. Altars are an expression of your energy and a direct connection to the spiritual world and or that astral plane that our ancestors dwell in. And one thing I love about altars is there's no wrong or right way to make an altar. A lot of us are looking for direction on altars when all we have to do is go inside and understand the fundamental basics of an altar itself. So yeah, 3 altars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you laughing. You said you had more altars and you had to break it down a little bit, I imagine.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago. I had an altar in every single room. It was cool. People would come to my home, and they'd be like, "Wow, this looks cool." And a lot of people are spooked about altars because they see that earthly thing, and they're thinking that this altar is trying to keep them away, or this altar is harboring spirits to attack them. Altars are for many different things. And I think one studies into altars. I think typically when someone studies altars, they end up making an altar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there are so many different types, and most people don't realize even in the church they have altars. I mean, every spiritual system pretty much they make some type of altar that they work with. So, but I would say that African altars are probably a little bit different. They may be a little bigger, although I've seen some Buddhist altars that were, outstanding as well. So it just depends on the individual, I would say. What about you, sisters? You all have altars? Join the conversation.
Go ahead, Big Sis.
I have altars. I have really 2 that two, and I'm working on the 3rd one. And then I have also, I find that altars are created all the time where I don't even really necessarily realize it. It's easy. Once you get into a certain space and connecting with spirit, and I'm talking about in my personal home, but then, I have favorite places in nature that I go to, and, there's altar there, especially when I'm doing a lot of work in the garden, or, doing a lot of work out in nature, connecting with nature, gathering herbs, listening to the messages. A lot of times they really do occur. So, yes, I do have altars, and I really enjoy my time there, and it's interesting to see how they evolve over time. As I continue to work and maintain them. What about you, Sophia?
Yes, I'm I'm like you and like the brother. I have 3 altars, 3 of my main altars. I have my ancestral altar, and I have my segment altar, and I have my set altar. But like you, big sister Aura, I kind of got, a little place for you over there, and I connect with you over there, and but yeah, I appreciate the way the brother brought it out, because I never thought of my altar being an expression of my own energy, and I like that. And as I look at altars and look at altars that I have had the opportunity to see of others, I can see that reflecting. Like you see that person's energy within that altar space, even though it's not necessarily for them, but for them, of them. I like the way he brought that out, the expression of your energy through an altar. That's pretty cool. But yes, I love and communing with spirit with my at altar spaces, at my altars, is very powerful and empowering. And it is something that more people need to have in their homes, altars.
But can I add, oftentimes when I'm talking to people, or mentioning altars, or like people might ask me a question and the conversation comes up, especially say with someone who is not dealing with African tradition or with the occult sciences outright. It can even be someone that I knew and grew up with from the church. And I'll let them know 9 times out of 10 they have an altar in their home. And yes, many times they have an ancestral altar. They have this special place where they keep all the pictures of their departed loved ones, and, they keep it up and, might have a nice little space lined up. And they don't have any conscientious knowledge about altars or maintaining them, but yet and still they're there. Or they might have a space where, they may pray and have an altar where they might keep, like their spiritual book, or, where they do their own personal studies and things like that. And it's real interesting to see that really all of these things are really deeply embedded within us. And, we need to open our eyes to them and not be so fearful. So I'm so grateful for this conversation. And I hope that people who need to hear it are listening. I really pray that people who are thinking about it or are embarking upon this path, or thinking about embarking upon this path, really get an opportunity to hear tonight's message.
Yes.
And what about car altars? Do you all have an altar in your car too?
That's a good one.
Yeah, my sister brought it up in the chat room.
I don't have a plan of all the water, but
my little bead crystal.
Have it in your cup holder.
But I have still liquor on my car. I ain't even playing.
I've seen the elder mama with the car eschoo, the portable travel eschoo as well. And she just had a little spot to it. And don't touch it now. It's right there. Don't touch it. But I found that, and you all basically brought it up too. It's like once you start working with the altars, they become a part of you. And I found that my house has shifted just by me keeping altars. Even when people come into my home, people always want to stay in my house, or they mention how peaceful it is and, things like that. And I know it's because of the energy, the altars and the incense and things like that. So what do you all think about that? Did you notice?
I wasn't just want to say this real quick, Mr. Jar, and for our listeners. If you're not already, consistently working or willing and open to transformation, to change for your highest good and whatnot, when you begin to build altars and call for spirit in your home, and anything that is within your home that is not in order, it will be put into order because you're bringing forth spirit within your home. And as you said, people come into your house, they feel harmony. And if you don't have that there in your home when you bring forth an altar there, spirit is going to transform and do all it needs to do to get the home in order. And from my own experience, I just wanted to put that out there. Like, it's a very powerful thing. It does become a part of you and does help assist and completely shift the energy in the home, for real, for real.
Agreed.
Yeah, and even when you shift, if you already have an altar, I notice when I make shifts and changes on my altar, it also makes changes in my personal environment as well. And, it is very important. It's a very important place to work with spirit. And the more, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but, I just noticed that the more that, I work with spirit at my altars, or just in general, the more things are able to move so much easily and swiftly. And even I'm starting to see subtle changes. We have a community altar here in Charlotte, and it's just a beautiful thing to see the energies of our bloodlines coming together so that we can work together more effectively. So, it's a powerful thing, and it can go. It's primarily we should have them in our home, but just having them to go even beyond the borders of the walls of our home is just amazing, because it seems like the altars end up going wherever we go, like the lady with the altar in her car.
We actually become the altar in a sense.
Yes, I agree with that. We become the altar. And I want to add that, the sister mentioned, when you make a change on the altar, that change, you can see that in this realm. Yeah. That in essence is a ritual. Okay, it's and it can be the most intricate change. You could remove a crystal, you could add a crystal or whatever, and you're going to see an immediate effect. That's definitely ritual. So,
I say. Well, I do want to invite our listeners to join the conversation as well. If you all have any questions or want to share, you can dial 1 and we will bring you in. And, of course, if you coming in online, just send us a message to the chat room. And I have one more question about altars before we move on. Do you have, what type of altars do you have? Ancestral altar? Do you have a personal altar? You don't have to share everything, of course, but...
Okay. I have an ancestral altar. I feel that ancestral energy should always come first. Okay. So, first and foremost, I got the ancestral altar. Then I have altar for the energy I'm most connected to. Whether it's an Orisha or whether it's Netaru, and then there's my personal altar And that's just the energy that I like, that I want to keep sacred, you know. So that can be crystals, you know, that could be a few different spirits, you know, that can be candles, you know, just energy that I like. So that's where my 3 altars come from: ancestral, personal, and deity. Good question.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Fred? Go ahead.
I don't have a personal question, but this is a question that I hear a lot of times from others that I think I should put out there for people who may actually come back and listen to it, that are maybe currently listening now. When it comes to building altars, a lot of people tend to want to mix up deities with other deities, the Neteru, with other, you know, Orisha or Abusam, with this and that, just trying to, you know, mix them up. What advice or suggestions do you have in regards to that? Like maybe explaining why, you know, you don't mix the same gods and goddesses or different ones in the same space.
That was a good question. I want to answer that. It's chemistry, literally, right? You know, there's certain energies that mix, just like there's certain chemicals that mix, and there's certain energies that don't mix. So if you don't know the different degrees of energy, you know, if you're going to mix a Shango with the Ogun, knowing that they have a tendency to rival at times, then, you know, that may not necessarily work for you, you know. So I would just like you got to study your chemicals and chemistry, study the energies you want to mix, study their background stories, understand what they're compatible with and not. Okay, you know, so you know you can mix a Shango and a Oshun, that'll work. You know, so you know. That's my advice. There's no problem with mixing. You just got to know how and what to mix. And for that, you need got to do thorough research on what you're trying to mix. So, yeah, good question. That's a good question.
You think?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have a question because I find it interesting that, you know, you've been doing this work since the age of 6, which is amazing. And a lot of households that I work with that are establishing altars, they do have young children. And, you know, are there any advice that you would have to help parents to help their children to engage with the altars? And the second part is, how old were you when you first established your own altar?
Okay. So for your first question, I feel that children, especially around 5, 6, 7, they have an innate interest in this stuff. You know, they want to know about crystals. You know, they want to know what that is, and they get connected to this. They get fascinated by this. And through their fascination, if it's cultivated, all they're going to do is take that science deeper, you know. That's why I took the science deeper, you know, because I was fascinated by things like energy, balls, and stuff like that. So when it comes to that, I would show them what I'm doing and why, and I think that they will absorb that really fast. And as far as my first altar, I think I was about 16. Yeah, I was about 16 when I made my first altar. Yep, and I remember that too. And again, I was still in that fascinated stage, you know. Children, what I love about children they innately love things like altars, you know. So yeah, a mini altar for a child, that's a really good idea, you know. So I would teach my children things about altars and, you know, the elements, and teach them what element they are and have them create their own altar. And I think you will be amazed what they come up with. You know, their altar might end up looking better than yours. You know, seriously, because this is the age in which they should start doing this work. Absolutely. I love these questions.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's move on into the rituals. And you did mention even something as small as shifting something on your altar is a ritual. And we do have rituals that we do all the time. In fact, the things that we do all the time can also be considered rituals. But when we do our spiritual work, you know, whether it's a moon ritual or clearing the altar, pouring libations, things like that, they are important. And we should also be more conscious about our rituals, more proactive about doing specific rituals, rituals for the family and for our health or whatever other needs or concerns that we have. So I know that just in the time that I've seen you on social media, you do rituals very often. Not you know, the small rituals, but like real rituals and real work. And it works. I've also seen a lot of people commenting on how much the rituals have helped them. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I don't know where you want to start. But
I'm right. I'm ready for this one. Okay, so rituals. You know, as Nia said, rituals we all do every single day, whether we realize it or not, right? So that's the first thing we got to establish, is that all of us do rituals. And for a lot of us that are afraid, if you cook, you're doing rituals, right? You know, just the ceremony of preparing food, maybe singing over your food. You know, the you know, perfection you have to put into cooking and all. That's just a ritual that has an outcome, right? And you know, dealing with the law of cause and effect through science and spirituality, we understand that the smallest thing you do has an effect somewhere, and it will affect this plane in some way, fashion, or form. So understanding that, we have what's called ceremonial rituals. That's when you play out or enact an energy that you want to play out in this realm, okay? And the way you do that is you find a real innovative way to play that energy out, okay? So whether you looking at a crystal and you're holding it and you're meditating on it for 5 minutes, or whether you have an outfit on and you are trying to come into a particular deity energy because you want a certain result, you know, that's ritual. And what I love about rituals is this is something that is very ancient in all of our cultures. So when we do that, we are just following in the footsteps of our ancestors. And the thing with rituals is a lot of people are afraid of the term because of how Western culture deemed ritual evil or wicked, or we're learning a lot of us are learning about rituals in the West from more European societies, and they're a lot more savage. And it's hard for people who just come into this differentiating the two. Indigenous people of the planet, we understand, and we have a direct connection with the planet, and we're all about love and life. So the rituals we do will deal with that. So a lot of people, they're turned off by the word ritual, and we got to get out of that because this is our science. And the thing with rituals, whether they're working or not, is all going back to an expression of your energy. Your discipline, how much energy you can put into something to have it manifest. And the reason I do a lot of rituals is because, it's a science of its own. Okay, it's a science within a science that if you perfect, it's going to work every single time. If you connect it to the planet the right way. So, what other questions you got?
I want to know what's your favorite. Do you have a favorite ritual, like your most frequently used ritual, one that's like something you probably do every day or every week, or you generally mix it up? Mama Kajar was saying that you do all type of rituals, so what's something that you could give us, a simple one that you might could share with our audience that's going to be a favorite, sweetie?
One thing I love, and I do it every full moon, is I absolutely love working with the full moon. I love to go out, stare into that bright moon and moon gaze, absorb that moon energy, and at the same time, chanting a moon mantra while I'm staring at the energy. Okay, and when I do that, cool things happen. My energy becomes charged, or if I have a candle lit, the flame starts going crazy, and it's an intimate connection with the moon, and that's something that I do every single time. That's something I did recently, with this past full moon, and it's simple, but it works every time. And I think that if we do that frequently, you'll establish a relationship with the moon, okay? And with that relationship established, because we understanding the planets or the celestial bodies having like a mind of their own and intelligent, that energy will aid you in so many different ways. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I love the full moon ceremonies too. The ritual, that's the divine time to tap in.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And what I like about like something like a full moon ceremony, if you are consistent, the moon, just like if you're consistent with anything else, you will see really good results over time. If you can meet the full moon every single time it turns full, you will be rewarded. You'll be given certain merit, and the moon will help you in an omnipresent way. And I think that the more of our people that can get into that, the more tapped in they'll be, in this universe. So
I definitely agree. That's powerful. We connect to the cycles of nature.
Yes, that's right.
So would you say that is a ritual that we should all do, a full moon ritual? Or is there another one that you would say that everyone should do?
I will say that one, we can't go wrong with the full moon ritual. So I would say that we all should do that one. we can't go wrong with the full moon, because we're all connected to the moon. The moon affects our emotions and, our hormones. It's also a connection to our ancestors. A lot of us have these vivid dreams of our ancestors when the moon is full. So I don't think you can go wrong establishing a connection with that energy. Another ritual that I would say that we should do, because I'm all about staying connected with your roots, staying connected with your life force, your chi, your DNA. Another thing I do every single day, every single morning, is, I look at a picture of my loved ancestors that have transcended, and I give them ashe every single morning. I don't miss a day. And I think that is what each and every one of us should do. Okay, so I would highly recommend that. Just giving honors to the ancestors that came before us. It's best to use a Polaroid picture for anyone that wants to do this, because that Polaroid picture has the DNA, and and if we don't have any pictures, but we remember our ancestors and we remember their names, if we just give honors to them every single day and don't miss a day, we will stay connected. It's all about staying tight with your roots, because that's where we're an extension of that, and we still are that. And that's a great way to stay tapped in, Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Simple ritual. A lot of people are attracted to my rituals because of how they look on the outside. They like the pretty candles and stuff like that. And that is because that's just how my energies resonate. Rituals can be anything. Just giving the ashe, that don't require candles or anything like that. That's just, connecting to an energy. That's playing out a certain energy. That's repetitively, consistently connecting back to a source of yours. So a lot of people get caught up in the elaborate altars and ceremonial things, and that's just, the external. But, we got to look at what the real meaning behind the ritual is, So, yeah. I also want to add, the reason I make my rituals so elaborate is for motivation. I want to prompt people to get back into doing what our ancestors did. So I have to acknowledge that. But yeah, we got to find a way to get people into this, and that's it, making it elaborate, making it look really good, appealing, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the look, I have been to a lot of rituals, and it's not just the look, because it's when you have more things to add to the ritual, it adds to the energy, and so it increases the power, the ashe, the spiritual power, really. The more candles you have, the more offerings you have, the more people, all of those things really build up that energy so that you are able to achieve whatever it is that you're working to achieve, or, during the ritual. What would you say is the difference between a ritual and a ceremony?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Okay, so ritual is a enactment of energy, mainly dealing with like cause and effect. Now, a ceremony is not only is it a major ritual, but it is a it's a theme, it's a show. You know, a ceremony is a concert. Okay, it's an orchestra. There's a lot going on in the ceremony. There's many different types of ceremonies, but there's a lot going on, and everything. There's so many elements in a ceremony that's going to that theme, and at the end of that theme, you're looking at an end result. So, you know, like in an African ceremony, you know, you got the drummer, okay, you got the singer, you got the person that's chanting, okay, you have the shaman, you have the people participating in the rituals, you know, you have the colors, okay, you know, if the colors are all white, there's a theme with that. And then, you know, you have the day of the ceremony, of that celebration or whatever, and that is, it's a big concert. You know, it's a major vibration. Okay, ceremonial rituals are they're extremely ancient, and there's many different types. You know, we can come up with them, but so they're a ceremony and a ritual is one and the same. But a ceremony, I will say, because of those elements and because of those elements staying focused on that one theme, it creates a raw vibration of its own for a manifestation. Okay, when a ritual could just be brushing your teeth every morning. You know, yeah, I like that question.
We'll give thanks. And I do want to remind our listeners to call in if you have any questions or comments. You want to join the conversation, just dial 1, and I will bring you on the line. And what about you, sisters? You all have any questions about the ritual?
I'm thinking, you know, well, with the Raseki Arts Temple, it is ritual for us to fast. With the change of the season, are there any other rituals that you would suggest with the theme of cleansing and purifying and purging and preparing for spring?
Okay, so if you fasting with the seasons, that's good. You know, affirmations, you know. So now you cleansing your body, food and everything. Now, what about your psyche, your mental? Now, let's bring that together. So affirmations, you know, every night. Okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this. You know, realigning your psyche. So fasting from food, now let's fast from bad habits. Or, you know, let's realign with a certain thought or a certain mentality that we had. And I think that would go along with that change of the season. Yeah, that would go along with the change of the season. Also, throwing, again, let's bring all that together, throw old things out. You know, we can cleanse our body out. Now let's also cleanse out our home. Let's realign our room or our entire house. You know, put the bed in a different direction now. Okay, throw away all old things in your house. Clean the house from top to bottom. And I think that would go along with the fast and the change of the season. You know, changing the color of your bed sheets and your pillows. You know, buying different clothes, throwing old clothes away. You know, yeah, that will be good. Yes.
Wow, and that's interesting. A lot of those are excellent rituals, and it seems like things that maybe our ancestors or elder mothers would have done. What other rituals do you see that we do that many may not even take notice of? Maybe just a kind of clarify certain things?
Well,
like even just in everyday life. Like
somebody, the person that chooses to mop every single Sunday, or clean every Sunday, they choose a Sunday to clean the house, or purge the entire house. That's ritualistic. Some of us, we take out the garbage on a certain day. It's ritual. Some of us, we, not even knowing the energetic meaning behind it, but we take our shoes off at the door. We not, that's ritual. Not inviting the energy from the cares of the world or outside into your home. Coming home to your mate and giving them a hug or a kiss every single time. It's ritual. That's a consistent love vibration you give off. And when it's broken, when you don't get that hug or kiss, something is weird because you have been doing that ritual for so long. So it's become a programmed ritual. Okay, even feeding your animals at a certain time, or walking your pet, your dog at a certain time. That's all ritual. So these are rituals we don't know. And like I said, anybody who can cook is great at performing rituals. Okay, the whole process of cooking is ritual. Okay, the way you bathe, some people, shower and they wash 3 times. That's ritual. Or however you decide you want to bathe. The route you take to work, when you can take several other routes. Some of us take a certain route to work, and then 6 months later we taking a different route for 6 months straight. The route you take to work, whether you stay on it or change it up, is ritual. And if you change that route up, something in your life is going to change. So what we got to do is understand the science behind if we took the other route home, what would actually change. Taking a different route home, you coming into different energy. Okay, I could take this highway, or even the highway that we consistently are on. That highway alone carries the energy, so we go through the energy every single day to work, and then we come back home on that highway, same energy. So we switch up highways that have different energy, to different rituals. So literally everything you do is ritual. Whether you save change every single month. Everything we do. Whether you choose Sunday to be the day where you just go and chill and watch TV. It's ritual. So these everything I name is ritual. Yes. I love that question. That's for the people who think that they don't do rituals or they not into that stuff.
Hey, you got the phone picked up with that one. So we're going to bring in Paula. Area code 662. Poo. Peace and love. Welcome to our call. Peace and love. How's everybody doing? Great. Beautiful. Okay, great. How are you? My name is Michelle, and I have a question. Is there a daily correspondence for, I was listening to you all speaking, he said to daily do your ancestral greeting and nightly affirmations. Is there a daily correspondence for, say, certain deities, or I'm basically trying to develop my spirituality, and I'm going on the Ifa tradition. And do you have a day for your Moja, or a day for Obatala, or a day for Oshun, or anything of that nature?
Absolutely. When you study, you will come to find that every Orisha or Netaru or whatever has not only a day but also a planet. Down and the correlations trickle down to a part of the body, a color, a chakra. So yes, there is a daily correspondence. You know, Oshun, you're looking at Friday. You know, there is a daily correspondence. So with that being said, find the daily correspondence and do a ritual on that day. And if you want to take the science to a deeper level, there is also a time, okay, that will fit with the daily correspondence, and there's a time you do it on that day. So, you know, it may be Friday at 7 p.m. You know, there's a planetary time and hour of that particular energy. And that just puts your ritual even more in sync. Good question.
Thank you. So it won't hurt to do that, to just try to work with everybody for one day of the week to focus on one particular Orisha.
Not at all. You know, okay. I think doing that would just give you ample experience, especially like after a year. You know, yeah, good idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you all very much.
That's it.
Thank you for calling in. That was a beautiful question.
That was a good question because, you know, I think that will probably help many to really understand the energies of each day and help to possibly even complete tasks or meet goals and manifest many things while working with the energies, the correct deities, you know, that correspond with those days and times, you know, because a lot of times those days do carry a particular energy. So
they do.
Wow. All the best for this.
And I would just add that we can follow and honor the days according to the planets, and also in Ifa, they have a 4-day calendar or a 5-day calendar that they follow, and the Orishas have certain days according to those. It's either one of those 4 or 5 days, and it could be several that are honored on each of those days. So you can also look that up to find that calendar if you want to get more detail with the Orisha. We do have another caller at area code 352. Tep, peace and love. Welcome to our call. No, 352, peace.
They're not ready.
They're not ready. We may come back around. But the rituals, let's see. So how often do you do rituals, like the conscious spiritual rituals, not like regular everyday type stuff? But are you like every week or just that full moon once a month? How often would you say, brother?
It depends on how one is feeling. You know, there was a point, I think, for like, it was probably 4 months where I'll probably do a ritual like every other day or every 3 days. And that's a lot. And that's one thing that got my experience up with the science, because it's the science itself, you know. But then, you know, there was a time in which I just, for 6 months straight, I didn't do any rituals. You know, I needed a break from that. So I will say one should do rituals according to where the spirit guides them. I don't think you can do too many. Yeah. I think that if you overdo it, you can miss the point, because you don't want to get to a point where you're doing a ritual for you feel where you need to do a ritual to get whatever you need. You know, it's not really for that. And a lot of people that start into this, and when their rituals start working, they get that misconstrued. They're like, okay, I need money, so now I got to do a ritual on this. Okay, I got to fix my lifestyle, I got to do a ritual on this. And it's not that should not be the mentality behind it. So that's a good question. I will say, do ritual. Fill out when your spirit leads you to do rituals, and don't feel a need to do it every time you need something, because that would be overdoing. Okay, but if rituals give you a certain fascination, if there's a certain science that you want to get out of it, and you feel compelled to keep doing them, absolutely. But I don't think that one needs to be on a regimen where they're like, okay, so rituals 3 times a week. It's not like a workout regimen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good question. It's a good question. It's a science. It's an ancient science, a tool that our ancestors done, and following, and us doing it, we following in their footsteps. So that's how we got to see it, And I think anyone who wants to do rituals often should just look to perfect the science of it, because before my rituals started working, the first few rituals I did not work. I had to understand the science behind it. I had to understand perfection, being in alignment, timing, degrees and things like that, yeah. So, yeah.
I appreciate you saying that you don't want to do too much. You want to have a balance with it. But also, you have to practice the rituals. You do practice. That's something that I get into, with my students often, about the practice. When you learn to do something, if you really want to master it, you definitely have to do it often for the few times to get it.
Right, and
because go ahead.
I was going to say it's alchemy, it's science, trial and error. Okay, especially first getting into this, understand that if you're doing a money ritual, money will not just fall out of the sky. It doesn't work like that. You got to understand how the universe works. You got to understand timing also. If the moon is in a certain degree, right, and you're asking when the moon is really not conducive to that, then you're not going to get what you're asking for. You got to understand balance as well, right? So, some of my rituals, there's not always asking for things. Sometimes I'm just expressing gratitude. Sometimes I'm saying thank you. And, way before I started working with any Orishas, Nataru, or anything, way before I asked any of our celestial energies for anything, I would just establish a relationship and give offering, say thank you. I would do that for a minute before I ask for anything. So, a lot of us, we have we got to break out of the Western mindset of every time we come to our energy to ask. We want to be on these energies. We want to be on their good side. And that's gratitude, that's showing appreciation. So, the different type of rituals, so you don't want to just be asking for things for 6 months straight. Let's actually show appreciation, and I think that performing a ritual is a very good way to show appreciation, because you're giving something, you're offering something, or energetically your intention is, hey, I appreciate you, and that's a good message that we got to get out to the people. Yeah.
Yes. We have another caller coming in, area code 305. Headset, peace and love.
Peace and love to everybody on the call tonight.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, this is Eve. I had kind of two questions, and anyone can feel free to answer if they feel led to. And I wanted to know, can a ritual be done in nature to enhance certain things? And is there any particular ritual to help to concentrate or bring your energy more cohesive and together, like to just concentrate your energy if you're feeling maybe dispersed in a lot of different places?
I like that question. I would say yes. You know, one of the places as an indigenous people, we started out doing rituals in nature. And I think a very good ritual will be the ritual of grounding, or what we call earthing. You know, barefoot in the ground. You know, you're sitting in what we call the horse stance, and you're drawing up energy. And that helps you center and concentrate chi, you know, into your chakras. And I think consistently doing that ritual in nature, you know, you got that earthly element, and you know, you got the grounding stance, that will help you feel more at ease or concentrated. You know, or just sit straight up meditating, you know, in nature alone, you know, where there's no radiation, you know, no noise, no distractions. That's another one. You know, that consistently done is ritual. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
I say, hotel.
Thank you so much, Harlan. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just was going to say he was on point and was going to add focusing on the breath also, when trying to center oneself or gather your energy. The breath work is real important and helpful.
I say. Agreed.
And
breath work.
Really made me think about the group rituals. And that is something that we like to do when we get together at the retreats. And we have also we've done other group rituals. We did a very nice group ritual in Chicago a couple years ago when they had a lot of killing, and we just had to do something, you know. And I know that you also do some group rituals, so let's just talk about that. You know, they are very powerful. We should do more of them. And, yeah. What you think about the group rituals, brother?
I think that, you know, I've performed those over the phone, you know, in my group, the Royal Bloodline. And, you know, I think that group rituals are the most powerful. I think that they are the best thing in the world, literally. You know, getting a bunch of like-minded energies together to concentrate on a goal or focus or celebrate something. I don't think anything's better than that. On a more mundane level, every single party at every single club is a group ritual. You know, so but you know, if that energy is taken spiritually, like what you guys do at the retreat, then I think that group rituals, if they were done more frequently, they would help raise the consciousness on the planet as a whole. I really believe that. And I believe that's actually a solution right there. You know, for us to get into group ritual ceremonies or circles, meditation circles, and things like that. And I think the more of us that have these popping up, and if they can pop up like virally, and the intent can be somewhere along the lines of raising vibration, I think that can change the planet. So I am all for group rituals. I'm happy you guys do that. That's cool. I gotta go to one of those.
We would love to come.
Yeah, I'm coming. I know y'all gonna be in Philly, so I will be there. Yes.
And you have to share more about the group ritual happening at the club for some people who might not get it.
Okay. All right.
What do you mean by that?
All right. So, in traditional rituals, let's say African traditional rituals, what do we have? We got people, right? We have dress attire. We have music, drumming or music, singing, dancing in the club. You got the people. You have the attire, right? You have the music. You have the dancing. You have the singing. You have the alcohol, and you have that in both. And then, even in like an African ritual, you got the ancestors, the spirits coming down and influencing us. The same thing happens in the club, especially when you start drinking. You got that influence. The lights turn off when everybody is influenced by an energy, and it's a ball of energy. It's a straight ritual. So you're doing an African ritual, but more on a mundane or lower level, or if you're like in a hip hop club, you may be pulling on more lower vibrational energy, so you don't realize what you're doing. But you're doing the same exact thing. The only difference is the knowledge of the science of what's going on. The DJ is the shaman. So
that's
the DJ
important job.
It's an important job, right? Because the DJ is responsible for the energy of the party, and if he's a good DJ, the party's going to be bumping every time. And if he's a good shaman, it's going to be a great ceremony every time. And the shaman it has the same responsibilities as the DJ. It's important for us to understand that, especially more of us elevating higher, we're going to always party because we have been doing that because it's a ritual.
Spirit loves to party. It's
in our blood. Whether we're in Africa or here, we've been doing this. Yes.
Yeah. And I have to say that the first time I went into trance was definitely dancing in the club when I was a teenager. But however, the music that we listened to at that time was on a peace and love vibration, whereas now the music is a whole different vibration. It's totally different and much lower. So the rituals and ceremonies that are happening in the clubs are, on a different vibration as well. That was a beautiful breakdown.
I think it's important to understand that, like, if we replace hip-hop party with, I'm going to a hip-hop ritual tonight, we'll be a little bit more mindful, because that's what it is. And I noticed that with African traditional rituals, when you go to them and they're orchestrated right, you change. Of course, most of the time, like, you're on vibrate higher. You're going to do away with certain things. And we got to expect the same thing going to a club. You're going to change. And if that energy was low vibrational, that's how you will be. Okay? Cause and effect. So it's important to understand where you're going, and if there's going to be a lot of people gathered, that you're going to be affected some way, fashion, form. So, yes, good build.
That's right.
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted, you mentioned something about the timing of rituals, and that is something else that we should elaborate on a little bit more, because I think some people expect to do a ritual and then like the next day just everything is, everything is what they want. And it doesn't always work that way. You may have it happen that way on occasion, but usually you have that little time frame. So can you talk about it a little?
Okay. Absolutely. Every season has a certain energy. Every moon has a certain energy. Let's talk about, like, for example, like the spring equinox. I know I did a ritual last year to launch my website on the spring equinox because I understood that there would be a lot of energy, and that would be dealing with a lot of change. And because I launched it on the spring equinox, and I did it on that day, in the exact second that the spring equinox came in, my first week of sales was like $1,500, and that was good. But I know for a fact if I would have did it a week prior, I would not have had that result. Another example is like, if the moon if we're in a new moon, and you are trying to banish, when the full moon is dealing with more of the banishing energy, then your ritual will not work because you're not in alignment. You got to be in alignment. It's timing. So you got to wait. If you got a new idea and you're trying to plant the seed, all right, what you do is you plant the seed in the new moon, you plant the seed in the new moon, and then by the time that moon is full, you will see some form of manifestation or some form of fruition, even if it's not the complete thing. But you gotta wait. You gotta study. So anyone that wants to get into rituals, study harvesting, timing. You can't plant certain things at the wrong time. It will not work. You won't have any growth at all. Doing a money ritual on a Monday, which is more of a moody day, when you could have waited to Thursday, which is dealing with Jupiter, money or wealth, there will be a different outcome. So waiting for the proper time, and seizing the time, timing is everything. Timing is everything. And the more in sync you are with time, the more in sync you are with the universe, and the more you will have a desired outcome when it comes to that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, family. Well, we have about 30 minutes left. If there are any other questions, anyone who is listening in, please like to join the conversation. Just dial 1, and we will bring you in the conversation. And you mentioned your website, brother. Go ahead and share with us your website. Let us know what you have going on, where we can connect with you.
Okay, so you can reach me at 7 Sage, SAGE, metaphysics.com. Also, if you want to interact with me on a personal level, Terrane Hicks, Terrane Hicks, HICKS on Facebook. Send me an invite or message me, and I can get you into my group, the Royal Bloodline. It's a secret group, so you got to inbox me, and that is where I teach everything, and all my information is free, and I interact with everybody daily. So, I would love for you all to Facebook me. So that's Terrane Hicks. Facebook me.
And you have T-shirts as well?
Yes, I do have Royal Bloodline T-shirts. You can inbox me for that as well. And I'm on YouTube teaching the same information. Oh, yeah, I got to get you a T-shirt. I got you.
Oh, yes, I would love to have one.
Yes.
And the group is definitely, it's a beautiful group, real positive energy. It's very active and some beautiful, powerful people in the group, so I definitely enjoy it. And you can see our brother Terrane on Facebook at the Royal Bloodline. You have to send him a message to join the group. And his name is Terrane Hicks, not Terrence. We all see that C in there, but it's
spell check. I'm trying to tell you, it just keeps hitting me.
Oh yes, but definitely you want to connect and stay connected and get in tune with some of the rituals that the brother is doing. He also has a YouTube page. What is your YouTube information, brother?
If you type in the Royal Bloodline, it should pop right up. The Royal Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. And my sisters, do you have any other questions?
I do. Since we're sharing in the information, are there any favorite books or any books or resources? I know you are a resource all into yourself, but like maybe some books that you might suggest for those who want to deepen and enrich their spiritual work?
I really love The Mental Netter, Volume 1 by Ra Nefer Amen. I think that's a good foundational book. Mm-hmm. And another book I like was Ancient Future by Wayne Chandler. And as far as, resources, I love Bobby Hemmett. You can find him on YouTube now. Deals with very similar information as far as rituals, occult, magic, ancient indigenous culture. And he's a funny guy, so, he definitely has some humor to the science, doesn't make it boring. So, those are some good references I can suggest there.
Okay. And we do have another question, another caller who is coming in from area code 347. Hetepu, peace and love. Welcome to the show.
Hetepu, this is Lotus. Greetings, family. Earlier you always speaking about greetings. Hi, Aura. You always speaking about the altars for the little ones about 5 or 6, having them build an altar. But my little one is a year old, and he is always on my altar, the maraca, the singing bowl, my books, and just any suggestions on rituals that maybe can be done with him at that age that would cultivate and nurture that curiosity.
You can't go wrong with a singing bowl.
Okay.
Play the singing bowl for him. Teach him how to play it.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay. You're doing good. Discover his favorite color and light a 7-day candle. Show him how to focus into it. And he will end up innately developing his chi. He'll start making chi balls and things like that. What's his zodiac sign?
He is Sagittarius.
Sag, oh man, this is gonna be good. Sages all are they are like the black hole. They like to go into the deep end of consciousn's. So he's gonna gravitate toward all of that naturally anyway. But I would say, especially with children, at that age, they love crystals Okay, so you get him exotic crystals, crystal jewelry, like I said, the singing bowl, chanting with him, or you guys chant together and you teach him certain chants, whether they're Kemetic or Sanskrit, that'll work. That will get him to innately practice the science, and then he will just be into it because he was born into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
and one last thing, a tuning fork. Fork. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good, thanks.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for calling in, sis. How's the baby doing? Yeah.
It's wonderful.
But you will kiss.
Definitely do that.
All right.
Yeah, you got to kiss that baby.
He is so precious. All right. That's so cool. And I just thought of another question I wanted to ask you. Did you have a spiritual teacher or teachers, or are you more self-taught?
That's a good question. In my development as a child, I've had a lot of really good spiritual teachers. One was my martial arts instructor. Pretty much took me by the wing and showed me a lot of things one-on-one. And then another person who I learned a great deal of information from was Ron Amin, who wrote the Metal Netter, And then another portion of my journey was developing myself and, self-teaching myself certain things. So I would say both. And I would say that one will, if they're walking on that spiritual path, they will self-teach themselves a lot of things. And a guide or a teacher will appear temporarily. But, you will deal with an element of both. So as of now, I don't have any teachers. I am more on the self journey right now.
Okay.
Good question. Everybody asked me that one. Yeah.
Yes, I had some time alone, and I guess, I would agree that it is a little bit of both, because sometimes if you don't have your teacher, then life will take you through certain initiations if you are meant to go through it. And if you listen and follow, and sometimes you go through the initiation when you don't listen and follow.
Right. I love the term. I love the term. The student is ready. When the student is ready, the teacher will present himself. I just think that if you're in alignment to learn, that the teacher's just gonna pop up out of nowhere. And that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times it seems like you need that teacher to get that good, solid foundation. And then, spirit just kind of, it's like, okay, it's time for you to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we are definitely grateful for our teachers in all forms that they come in. And we're grateful for you. Yes, indeed. We're very grateful for sharing how I wanted to ask, and as we are discussing the altars, rituals, and ceremony, as we increase our consciousness and put these things into practice, how do you see, as more people are becoming aware and open to these spiritual practices and not so much in a fearful fashion, how do you see it being a benefit to our people in this day and time, considering the challenges as well as the opportunities that are before us today?
That's a good question. One, connecting back to our roots are, which is performing rituals, is always a good thing, all across the board. But in a time crisis, when our people understand that they have the ability to tap into supernatural power, okay, and when they understand that there's a science behind connecting with your ancestors that are able to help you, then that crisis will no longer be a crisis, And I believe that, in this oppressed era and things like that, it will be an easy win the minute our people get on board as a whole and bring that science. Because this is something that you can't stop someone from performing rituals. You can't stop someone from meditating and going inside. So this is unstoppable. You don't need millions of dollars to perform your sacred arts that your ancestors were performing. So the minute we get this together, things will change overnight, I believe. And then, if we start practicing this stuff now and then passing it down to our children, they will take this to a whole nother level that we can't even fathom right now. So I think that this is the solution. Yep. Like I said, more meditation circles, good vibe circles, whether, we are under attack by the police or whatever, that's not going to be relevant when we have that direct connections to the ancestors and they intervene. So that's the route. I feel that this is the route. Yeah, I like that question. I like all these questions.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked it is because there's, every so often I hear a sentiment of feeling like there's an either or. You have the spiritual as well as the physical or the practical, aspect of dealing with things. And, I believe that it should be intricate, actually, with all the different means and ways of achieving our goals and just moving forward in life. So, I'm just thinking that as more people are open and doing this work, I say, and preferably will be more courageous in just stepping forward and doing the other aspects.
Absolutely.
Of the work that we need to do.
One of the main reasons doing this type of work will change us as a whole is because it will change our mentality. The more you get into rituals, the more you let go of what we call fear. Okay, on many different levels. Okay, the more you are connected with your ancestors in communication, the more you don't fear what we call death. We don't even see what people see as death as death. So things like that. The more we get into group meditations, the more we will have love for each other as a whole. And having that love for each other as a whole, we would be more inclined to spend money with each other and, just really show love. And, I always felt that the physical and the spiritual were interconnected. That's why rituals work. We do things on the etheric plane to affect things on this plane. So, I agree with you. Definitely agree with you.
Yes. And I think you said earlier this is the time that we should be doing those things. So I wanted to just say that once more. Let's get those meditation rituals together, those group rituals together.
Yes.
Full moon time is good. New moon time is good. Follow the planets and, depending on what you're working with, honor that and work with it and do it. Be active in the ritual world, in the spiritual world. It's so important for us right now.
That's right.
So I bet you guys Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm done. I'm done.
Energy is just popping, right? So, are there any last words you want to share with our listeners, brother?
I want to say, for those of us who have the science, or even if we're starting out on the science, let's continue to share information with what we do, how it works. Let's get out of that Piscean age thing of hiding information. Let's stick to this Aquarian paradigm, and let's share. Let's share information. Let's stop thinking people are not privy to information. Let's share. I want more of us sharing what we do in the sciences that we are good at, because in this age, people are looking more now than ever, to do rituals. I get a lot of inboxes, and the number one inbox I get is, I want to learn more about rituals. And because I'm getting that, I'm like, okay, so let us teachers, us spiritual workers, you consider a teacher too, let's step up and let's do the work, let's extend more information. So that's the last thing I want to say. I also want to say rituals, they will help develop you as a person in so many different ways, because you are working with elements, you're working with energy, you're working with chemistry, and you're creating. And in that process, whether it works or not, and in dealing with that trial and error, that's another way of you to grow as a person. So that's all I got. And thanks for letting me on this show. This was fun. I loved all the questions. And I see y'all in Philly.
All right.
Accept my request.
We appreciate you. We give thanks for all the work that you are doing and sharing and waking people up, really, to this beautiful culture and our traditions. And it is our time for us to embrace them and to share and to bring more people in. So do I, brother. We salute your spirit and thank you so much.
Ashe.
Right, and we will see you in Philly.
Yep.
All right. Chatapu. And we'll see you online as well in the group. And we just want to let everyone know that we are going to be doing a group fast starting March the 7th. This will be a 14-day raw food fast. We are encouraging everyone to join us. If you are listening, you can fast with us. We are going to do it a little different this time. We are offering a 14-day detox support system for just $14. And with that, you will receive emails with videos and recipes and suggested menus and other information to assist you as we go through the 14-day detox process. So we have been doing the group fast, which is a ritual, 4 or 5 years now, and it is very powerful to fast together. We do have a prayer or suggested prayer, or encourage everyone to pray for not just yourself and your family, but also for our community and our people, and, you know, for our liberation and for us to get land and things that we need as a whole, and even for peace, you know, on the planet. So it's very powerful. And if you want to get more information, you can visit us online at RasekiHealing.com or RasekiStore.com. And we do have another CD that is going to be released. I've been talking about it. We have it coming in about another week or so. So the first week of March, the meditation CD is called Nefer Aritu, the Beautiful Chakras. And we have meditations, guided meditations, from Sister Aura. We have one from Sister Sakira, and also a couple more sisters. They are very powerful meditations, and that CD is going to be available on Bandcamp. So we already have the Sunrise CD at raseki.bandcamp.com, and our Nefer Aritu CD will be there next week. So make sure that you look for it. We will be promoting it on social media, of course, and we want you all to meditate with us. You know, we like to promote the healing. And we do have a lot of classes coming up, a lot of classes. We're going to be doing an aromatherapy online workshop next week as well. That is March the 2nd. And we have our class coming up in Philly at the Haven with the beautiful Kind Essence. We'll be doing Comedic Reiki Level 1 and 2 on April 9th and 10th. We're also going to do a healing share on April the 8th, that Friday evening, at the Haven. And you can get the address and information about the classes and register at RasekiHealing.com. And, of course, we do have the Jamaica Retreat, Nefer Nahas, the Beautiful Awakening, which we have an early bird special for the Jamaica Retreat going on right now. If you would like to join us in Jamaica, we're going to be doing Comedic Reiki Level 2. So you will have to complete Level 1 before you come, but we would love for you to join us. And you can get a special price right now and make payments. So visit us if you're interested to get more information about that. The Jamaica Retreat is definitely going to be one of the highlights of the year, as it was last year. Beautiful Jamaica, what can I say? Especially we're going to be going in December 1st through the 6th. So it'll be cold here, but in Jamaica it should be about 80 degrees, nice and sunny, and it's going to be a beautiful trip. We're going to visit Maroon Town, the waterfalls, the beach, and do that Comedic Yoga with Neter Aku. We'll be doing the Comedic Reiki and healing. It's going to be beautiful. You definitely don't want to miss it. Go ahead and visit us at RasekiHealing.com to get more information. And my sisters, did you all want to share anything else, or did I miss anything before we close out?
We have the sunrise ritual call in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, do the math. The phone number to join is 605-475-4000. Again, area code 605-475-4000. And the code to log in is 747-888-POUND. And we look forward to you joining in. It's a very beautiful time to share and elevate our vibrations at the beginning of the day as the sun is rising. And that's all that I can think of.
Okay. Okay. Do I? And what about you, Sister Sakira? Any last words?
I would like to give thanks for the information that was shared, the energy that was shared. It really was a good topic. I shade to our brother Spirit for putting the information out there and, not doing it in the closet like was mentioned earlier. Being bold and representing for our ancestors, because that's what we need. And I'm inspired, and I give thanks. Wow.
Can I add on top of that? Hiding is what our ancestors did out of necessity, because they were not allowed. They were not allowed to practice their ancient systems of spirituality. Our oppressors feared our spiritual power, and so therefore they were not allowed to do so. We were told how we were supposed to worship, and that's what we have taken on and put our energy into that. But now, if we are talking about liberation, true liberation, this should also be inclusive of how we worship and how we commune with spirits. So we can come out of hiding. We should come out of hiding and give that energy and power back to ourselves and to our ancestors, in which we give reverence and homage to. So this is the time. Take up your mat and walk, and we can get our full and complete healing now. So that's what I wanted to add on top of that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that, because that is very real, and we are conditioned to keep things quiet, some of us. So it's refreshing to be able to be free. That is liberation, and truly, our revolution is about returning to our culture. It's rejecting the other people's culture and returning to our own culture. That's Sankofa. So we have to remember that, and we give thanks to everyone for joining in this evening. Thank you, Brother Terrane, for joining in once again. And we give thanks to you, my sisters, for being here. And we have some beautiful shows coming up next month. We are going to pay some homage to the Women's Month, I believe it is. So we're going to have some spectacular sisters to come on and share with us. So make sure that you tune in next Thursday, again at 9 p.m. And we give thanks. Let us continue with our healing. Let us continue to stand up, to speak up, to be African, and come out of the closet, release the fear, embrace our own divine culture, and we will return to our divine greatness. So with that, much love and light to everyone. Ankh Uja Seneb. That's it.
Uncle Jasaneb, 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 Uncle Jasaneb. Uncle Jasaneb, Uncle Jasaneb, Uncle Jasineb, 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 Uncle Jasineb.
And now, an ad from Dad.
All right, save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Can I take these off? All right. What is this? This looks good. Wow, that's well made. Where did you get this? I'm talking to you with the hair. Yeah, where did you get this? It's good stuff. That's solid. That's not veneer, that's solid stuff.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.